Up for Discussion Live. Hosted by Jeff Sylvia and Shannon Sylvia. Bringing you the hottest topics, the coolest guests, and a live chat, so you can be part of it all. Up for Discussion Live starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly talk show where everything is up for discussion. Live here with me, Jeff, and as long as always, the trusty and true Shannon Sylvia. Hello, Shannon.
I'm not tried and true. It's just trusty.
Yeah, today you're trusty.
All right. How are you guys?
Maybe a little bit crusty with all the pies you've been doing, huh?
I don't want to talk.
How's the pie business? I walked in and you had pies stacked up from
when you came in, we were up to 47.
That's awesome.
Today, but we have a big day tomorrow.
Good for you. You have a big day tomorrow because everybody's talking about the snowpocalypse.
I'm surprised a lot of people didn't call and say they wanted to pick up their orders early.
Really?
I'm surprised. No. I mean, just a few. So I guess my guess is everyone's going to call tomorrow morning and say, I'd like to come in earlier. I'll do the best I can.
Well, they said it's supposed to start around 10, and it's kind of funny because today is in the mid-60s, low 60s. It's like 62, 63 degrees out today. And tomorrow, they're calling for almost a foot of snow. So,
Jesus.
Welcome to New England.
Yeah, but it's our first snow. I mean, it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's just
going to see snowflakes, and then they're not going to stop for about 16 and a half hours.
Day though everybody's going to be out tomorrow. The whole world's going to be out tomorrow.
I got to commute
all other days.
6
That's
miles.
Suck ass.
Is it 6? Not even.
No,
it's not a long commute.
Not for you.
I'm lucky.
We want to thank all of you for joining us here on the Mothership, upfordiscussionlive.com, and also want to thank all of our friends over at LATV, starting right at the top with Carl and Tina, Jack and Jane, and now the retired Dennis. Today was his last day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, today's his absolute last day. So, yeah, the crew is shrinking. Robert's still there. Robert's going to step up and do a little bit of Dennis's duties, and they do a great job over there. We have a lot of fun. So, thank you all to those guys, and thank you for tuning in with us. You know, if you miss us at any time, 24/7, you can catch us on our YouTube channel. Just search out PTV Webcast Network. Usually comes up in the top 2 or 3. And then you can enjoy not only Up for Discussion, but all the great shows here on the network. And to be part of our show tonight, you can call in live if you'd like to join us and be part of the show. 323-902-6661 is the number to call. And I think we have somebody on the line now. Hello, caller. You're with us.
Hello, Jeff.
Hey, how we doing, Mike Cooley?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're great. Thanks for joining us. Now, joining us on the phone is a Leominster native.
Right up front, though.
And Marine, Mike Cooley, who's got a big event coming up this week. And I'd like to tell us more about next week, right? When's the event?
It's in December.
Yeah, it's coming up in a couple weeks already. Next week's December. So tell us about
coming up on December 11th.
All right, tell us about what you got going on.
We have the 10th annual Cool Talk Christmas Party coming up on Thursday night, December 11th, at the very lovely and palatial Apple Hill Farm and Country Club on Joslyn Street in Leominster.
Yes, indeed.
And this is a free party where all we do is ask the guests to please come, enjoy themselves, have some free food, and bring a few toys for local kids that are deserving of toys, and we're just trying to help brighten our kids' Christmas.
Nice.
That's awesome. Now, I will say that, and Mike has actually heard me say this, Shannon's heard me say this, but to all of you that don't know, if I ever get $30 million, I am purchasing the Apple Hill Farm. It is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. I love the view. I love the grounds. I love the buildings. I love everything about that place. Guys, if you can get to this event, this is a real treat. Being able to hang out at a place like this. And 10th annual, Mike, you've done some really, really nice ones in the past. I think this one is really above and beyond anything so far that's going on. It's fantastic.
This will be the biggest event yet. We had to move it up there because we needed a bigger venue, and we're hoping to have over 100 people. I'm figuring probably have about 120 people. We have Ray Richard will be the musical entertainment for the evening. The chefs at Apple Hill are going to put out some great food, and I understand we're going to have some fabulous desserts.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed.
I have a feeling I know that. I know who's doing that.
I got a clue.
It'll be a great night.
Awesome. Now, this is for a great
Yeah,
cause,
it'll be a
guys.
lot of fun. We'll have a little bit of snow and.
And
Can you hear me?
we are going to have a little bit of snow. It sounds like that weather might be a factor here this coming week. But boy, it's going to be a great cause. We probably have a little white Christmas on the ground by then. Put everybody in the mood. And now this is a place where the food's a little pricey when you go there. If you to take a date there, I will say that the food's a little pricey. So if you guys can get in for just bringing a few toys, maybe some sneakers. Now, one thing that we talk about, Mike, is when you see Toys for Tots and you talk about the events like that, people normally just gravitate to the younger kids, the little infants, if you will, and the little ones that are, 3 or 4 years old. That's not necessarily the case. There's a need for kids at a much older age as well, isn't there?
They donate to kids up to 17 years of age.
Yeah,
A lot of people
The
don't
cool
know
thing
that.
about it is all the toys stay right here in Worcester County. They don't get shipped all over the world. They all stay right here in Worcester County, so they all go to local kids. But yeah, it is. It's not just Barbie dolls and Legos that they're looking for. We have some guys, they bring in basketballs and skateboard. One of the local people that we spoke to the other night that he was going to bring sneakers.
That's a great
So
idea.
a lot of great things will happen.
Sure. Great idea. Great cause, great time coming up December 11th, 6 o'clock at the Apple Hill Farm, Jocelyn Street in Leominster,
Are you
Massachusetts.
still there?
Yes, we are. Mike, thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like your phone's fading in and out, but we can sure hear you just fine, and appreciate you calling in and telling us about the event. Thanks, Mike. All right, Mike Cooley, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate him checking in, and he is one of the new projects that I've got going on this year. Shannon, I've been helping him with his Cool Talk show.
New show.
Very cool, very cool. And
It's always been a cool show. This is
gonna be
not
bringing-
even just,
He's been doing it a long time.
The format's been good.
Yeah, he's been at it a long time.
Yep.
And wow, is that your phone or my phone?
No, that's you.
Oh,
My
God.
phone's in the bedroom.
My phone's blowing up. All right, guys. Again, December 11th. I think that's a Thursday. Is that correct? Yes, it is a Thursday.
Yes, it is a Thursday.
It is a Thursday because I rerouted my schedule to be at this event. So join me, join Shannon, join everybody in Leominster at the 10th Annual Cool Talk Christmas Party at the Apple Hill Farm on Jocelyn Street. Bring a couple toys and you can get in.
Isn't there some kind of invite they should RSVP for?
I think there is stuff up on Facebook to find out more information. You can go on the Facebook page, and you can also check out on our page. We're posting the event, and we'll forward anything Mike Cooley's got going on as well.
Okay.
And we've got a lot going on tonight, Shannon. We've got some breaking stories to talk about, and later in the show, we have author Rusty Trimble going to be joining us, author of the Andrew Chronicles, and going to be a very interesting interview. And I got a few little secrets up my sleeve that I'm not gonna share just yet. So, but we do encourage you guys to stay in touch with us, as Mike did, and as everybody does. Call into the show 323-902-6661 if you want to be part of what we do. We certainly want to hear from you. Somebody that takes advantage of that, Shannon, of course, to its fullest capacity, and shares with us his thoughts, his profound statements. Yep. Once in a while, a song, and usually maybe a riddle here and there. But it's that time of the show where we like to find out what JT's thinking.
My favorite part of the show.
Hello, Jeff and Shannon. JT from L.A. That's right, Shannon. The Leominster Happy area. Well,
what you
guys,
drinking?
they canceled one of my favorite shows that came on in the fall. It was called Bad Judge. Starred Kate Walsh.
That's right.
It was a comedy. I thought it was pretty
that's
good.
The lady from Grey's
Usually you
Anatomy.
see her in Grey's Anatomy or Private Practice, but
Yeah.
I kind of like
Wasn't that McDreamy's
her
wife?
doing comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's gone. They only got a couple episodes left. Now, the big news last week was Charles Manson getting married to a 24 or 26-year-old woman. Now, Jeff and Shannon, you still have time to get the happy couple a wedding present. From what I understand, they want things from that store that's called Blood, Bath, and Beyond. You still have time. Well, Jeff and Shannon, happy Thanksgiving. Bye.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Bloodbath and
visit
Beyond.
Bloodbath and Beyond.
Oh
coming
my
to
God.
a Charles Manson store
That's
near you.
perfect. We got to make like a faux ad for Bloodbath and Beyond.
Not for nothing, but I got to give kudos to the AAF morning show, specifically Greg Hill. Now, fans of the show, I'm a moderate fan. I don't jump up and down very often, but this is something that I think is worth an exclamation point. They took gravy, Shannon, and put it in a spray bottle and call it Spravy.
Spravy?
Spravy.
Why would you want to?
You could spray.
Fix what's
Imagine
not
just
broken.
spraying gravy everywhere. How great is that? You can spray gravy on your mashed potatoes. You can bring your extra gravy, like we do when we go to the chicken farm. If you want to bring something extra, you can bring a little spray bottle full of gravy.
Spravy. That sounds like
Spravy.
something that you would spray in your dog's food so that they'll eat it.
No, it's
Remember
something
that stuff that used to add water to their dry kibble and it would cause a gravy?
Yeah, that's kibbles and bits.
No,
right?
it's not.
What is it?
No, it's not.
No, Gravy Train. Gravy Train. Remember
Is that
you'd add
it?
Yeah, remember you'd
Do
add
they still make that?
I don't know. I haven't really shopped.
Yeah, it was like
for a
instant
lot of dog food,
gravy.
yeah.
And they'd look at it and go like, it's wet. We're not eating that. Like wet, dry food. Dogs love wet food, but they won't eat wet, dry food. I've tried that.
Because
They're
they
not-
know the
they're not
difference, apparently,
stupid.
right? I don't know.
I don't
Could be.
know.
Coming up later, and also in the beginning of the year, is a new show, Shannon, that we're going to be involved in called This is the Nightlife with Dale LePage. We're going to start this thing off in January, and we're going to feature local musicians and local talent. And this guy is going to be the Dick Clark of not only central Massachusetts, but perhaps New England, and then the world. Super talented guy, great band of his own, has some incredible musicians that he works with, and check it out beginning of December. We want to, of course, say thank you to those who help us with what we do, and our friends over there at Village Pizza. We want to thank you for your continued support. To find out more about Village Pizza, you can visit them over at King's Corner, or you can call them at 978-343-7722. And also our friends over at Leominster Storage Solutions, Leominster Storage Solutions on Central Street to find out more.
Good people.
Great people. Been standing by this show and helping us out for a long, long time. And for that, we thank you. And to find out more about our buddies over there at Leominster Storage Solutions, you can call them at 978-466-8887 or visit them online at leominsterstorage.com. Now, I will. You know what, kid? I'm going to let you do the teaser sometime. Maybe you're going to have to do the sponsor.
Why not? Just
I think
ask.
you should. I think you should. Well, speaking of sponsors, I do want to also give a shout out to our friends over there at the Sasquatch Coffee Company who continue to infuse my mornings with greatness, and I absolutely love the Sasquatch. We have a contest coming soon. It is going to be a December to remember, Shannon, with the Sasquatch Coffee Company contest. We have some things to give away, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna have to think up something crazy for the peeps to do. Maybe something that involves a little bit more than just the local folks. And we have to expand this a little bit because what we have is shareable, and we could involve any of you that are watching
I agree.
from
Get involved, guys.
the 77 countries around the world. Breaking in the news today, very sad day in America, and this is Shannon. You asked why people are still talking about this, because this is a start of an event in American history that people are going to discuss and talk about for a long, long time. The Ferguson, Missouri riots, as they are now captured, are getting out of control. And as night falls on Ferguson today, authorities scramble resources in a bid to prevent a repeat of the violence that erupted in the wake of the grand jury's decision in the Michael Brown shooting. Missouri Governor Jay Nixon ordered additional National Guardsmen to the area, boosting the number from 700 to 2,200. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures, guys, of what the scene looks like right now in Ferguson. That could be Main Street in Leominster, Shannon. You have your storefronts, you have your two-way traffic, and that could be anywhere, but that happens to be in Ferguson, Missouri, where things are
we know people out there
completely out of control. We do. We know people that are very, very close to there. Now, what have you heard? I know that you're on social media and you keep your thumb on the pulse of what's going on.
I've heard that this is gaining international attention now. There are people from Russia and China telling our country to get our crap together because this is going to affect relationships with other countries.
Really?
Yes, they're now butting in, saying that Obama had better straighten this crap out, because if we can't even get our own country to get along, how are we supposed to get other countries, start pushing other countries to get along?
Well, that's a
You know what I
great
mean?
point. It's
Here
because,
we are,
because
demanding
we've
Russia
always
behave.
set the example. I
Yep.
mean, we've always been the one to set the precedent as
Yep.
far as democracy and diplomacy and all that stuff. And now here we are. So, boy, that's an interesting take on it, Shannon,
Yeah,
is
that's new.
having world pressure.
And
on
you know,
that
we
particular
just
event.
watched an interview with the kid, with George Stephanopoulos, and you know, I don't feel that the guy is lying.
No.
He looks honest. I saw the pictures of the scratches behind his neck, the bruise on his face. You know, he's saying that this kid charged him with all his might.
Yep.
And he actually called in on the radio and said, "I have to shoot the kid." And they said, "Go ahead." Like, this was planned. I mean, the kid knew that he had to protect himself, the cop.
Yeah.
So he called in on the radio and said, "I have to do something." So this wasn't a guy that just wanted to. He's never shot his gun before, by the way, except for training school.
Right.
Not once. This isn't some shoot happy police officer.
Right.
So I'm starting to see another side of this.
No, and George Stephanopoulos did say that he was very thorough. He grilled the guy for 2 solid hours, and you know, he came forward and said there was no detail, you know, left unturned when it came to this story.
Right.
The first 2 times that he tried to squeeze off a shot, the gun failed,
Yep.
and you know, the guy had his hand in the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Brown had his hand in the trigger, forcing the gun, you know, not to fire. Now, you know, I will tell you that the story goes, if you haven't been following the story, there was a robbery where Brown beat up the clerk and was seen on camera robbing the place, walked out,
Yep.
was confronted by a police officer, was told many times, it was actually told twice
Yep.
to stop, and did not, and in turn attacked the police officer. Then the police officer turned and returned fire, shooting and killing Brown. That resulted in a huge trial, and of course the latest grand jury decided not to indict the officer.
No probable cause.
Which you know, I think that's the right call, Shannon. I really do.
I do in my heart feel that way, and it's not because I'm white or black or whatever. I mean, this whole race issue is just retarded. I'm sorry.
That's the problem I have. Let me just jump. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
jump in, but
Go ahead.
that's the problem I have with what our president is doing right now. And I want to hear from you guys in the chat room on this. If you guys want to call in as well, I'll throw up the call-in number 323-902-6661. Obama is making a race issue about everything these days, and it doesn't have to be that way. This is not a black or white thing, and this is my opinion only. I mean, to me, this is not a black or white thing. This is justice being served, folks. I'm sorry to say it, but when a guy comes out of a store after beating up the store clerk and then attacks a police officer,
Yep.
the police officer has a right to go home to his family. The police officer has a right to defend himself, and the police officer is just doing his job.
Yep.
So unfortunately, that's what they call in the line of duty. And duty, you know, unfortunately, has to be handed out and to scumbags like that feel that they are above the law. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you come from. To be a law-abiding citizen is one thing, and to wreak havoc and disrupt society, Shannon, is quite another.
And I gotta say, I mean, there were 9 white people on the jury and 3 black people, and
Yes,
of
there were.
course, like, that's off by a ratio. But you know what? There were 3 black people on the jury, and they still cast their vote and said that there was no probable cause.
I believe the population of the town is very heavily weighed in that favor as well. If I'm not mistaken,
Of course,
maybe
I
somebody
mean,
could say that in the chat
there's
room.
prior problems to this. This doesn't stop here, but you know, people weigh the facts. The facts are the facts. The kid attacked the police officer. The police officer said stop several times, called it in on the radio. They said go ahead, da 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 da, shot the kid. Unfortunately, he died.
Yep.
But I think it was just an accident, guys. I mean, this isn't like oh my God, you're a black kid, you're beating me, I'm going to kill you. I think it was just a true accident, you know, that the kid was shot and killed. I mean, to shoot and kill him instead of maim him, I think that was an accident.
Well, you know, we talked about this before on a previous show, and we talk about police violence, and some of my police officer friends, you know, really enlightened me. you can't shoot at the leg. That's Hollywood. You're
that's
not
Hollywood.
trained to do it.
Michael Bay.
You're trained to shoot center mass. And if somebody's coming at you, all you can do to protect yourself is the MO there. And unfortunately, it has to come to that sometimes. These decisions are made in seconds, split seconds. And unfortunately, I'm siding with the cop that's got to go home to his family on this one.
Yeah, it's a sad, unfortunate incident, and of course, a life was lost. That's the most important thing. But that young police officer sitting there on the camera does not look like a liar. Does not look like an egomaniac. I don't know him from a hole in the wall. Maybe he is, but there's a look on his face of regret and shock about this whole thing. I mean, you can just imagine what he's going through. I'm sure he didn't imagine the kid to die.
No.
He was just doing what he had to do. He's doing what anybody would have done.
I will tell you that I'm more pissed off at the media, I think, than anybody to find fault within this, because this stuff happens every single day in America. And unfortunately, the media has turned this into an absolute shitstorm and has basically incited, what you see here. Unfortunately, to me, this stuff is just going to get worse. Since Monday at 10 and 4 a.m. Tuesday, there were 61 arrests and many counts of arson. Let me see.
All that.
And, of course, the National Guard now is being stepped up. It's just an absolute mess there. What do you guys in the chat room watching and listening on your handheld mobile devices as well? Chime in. We want to know what you think about what's going on in Ferguson, Missouri. It is an absolute beginning to a historical event in our country's history. And unfortunately, it's something that is, I think it's going to be a very negative effect on the future, as you alluded to earlier.
I just don't understand, Jeff. Why the violence? I mean, they're doing exactly what they're mad about. That there was a little bit of violence going on, or something happened and someone got killed. So they're turning around and killing people.
So trash your city.
It's an
turn around and trash the place where you're going to live. Trash your city.
Two wrongs don't make it right, guys.
It's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I understand the anger. I truly do. And even though I do side personally with the officer on this, I do see where anger can be a factor, because, we're talking about somebody's child. There's a mother involved, a younger person, an unarmed person. All this stuff comes into play when talking about this. And there's a huge sensitivity issue when an unarmed black man is shot by a white police officer. That gets the ultimate as far as media and press coverage goes, and it gets rammed down our throats. There are black police officers, folks, that are shooting white unarmed people every single day.
Of course.
It's a case where police officers have a job to do, and they're not there. Billy Christie said it best to me, my friend that's on the state police barracks. He says they're not there to be the judge. Everybody wants to plead their case to them. They all want to, them to make decisions. They're there to just wrap everything up, control the situation so everybody's safe, and get everybody to a place where they can talk about it in the morning with the judge. That power of letting the police intervene, if you will, was taken away long time ago, folks. So this is the result of media. To me, that's just absolutely blowing things to a point where I think they contributed to a lot of the frustration and the boiling over tempers of what's going on here. It's a very, very bad scene, as it indicates there, with chaos and anger. The National Guard is out in force. That is something that looks like a war zone to me, Shannon. That doesn't look like America. And the vets that we just celebrated Veterans Day, they're not fighting for that. They're not fighting for this. No. Here's a scene of looters inside of a store. Guy's carrying a what appears to be a pistol in the front of his pants. The other guy is in there trying to get into the cash register and get everything he can. Yep. You can see the store is completely turned upside down. That is not what our vets are fighting for. Our men and women overseas that are giving their lives, leaving their jobs, leaving their families to go fight for our freedom and our democracy. And this is not what they're fighting for, folks. This is not justice. This is injustice. Yep. When you turn on your own town and your basically burning your town down to make a statement. There's got to be a better way to make a statement, you know. And shame on the president, I think, on this one for not taking control. This is where he has to lead. You know, he is the first black president that we've ever had. This is now a huge racial issue that is spiraled out of control and is now to this level of frustration and boiling over into riots. It's up to him to take control of this, and I really, really am disappointed at the lack of control by our president.
Rusty has a good point. I mean, it's sad to see that Thanksgiving occur on the backdrop of this violence.
And it is. It is. It's biting off your nose to spite your face. That's exactly what it is. Because you're so mad. You're red, mad, just want to beat everything in your path and not think twice about what you're doing. That's what I think got him in trouble in the first place.
Yep.
You know, that's just the whole big cycle coming back around. But where does it end? I mean, there is no end in sight to this. I mean, there is.
You'd be surprised. I mean, you know what? Everybody was talking about Ebola a couple weeks ago, and that's not even on the news anymore.
Well, it's still
and you
there.
never
It's
thought
just
that
not
would
on the
end.
news.
You really thought this was going to be like, haywire, and everybody was going to like, oh my God.
I know. We're wearing masks in the airport. We were those people. I know. But boy, it's an ugly situation, and until there's enough National Guardsmen and women there that have to put their lives on the line to control these idiots, it's going to be a long, sad state of affairs there in Ferguson, Missouri. Now, Steve LaChance, friend of ours, lives very close to there,
St.
and
Louis.
they're close to that. It's not too far away. People, even where he lives, are staying in their homes. Grabbing their weapons and their children and huddling, making sure nobody comes in. Boy, you see that stuff in Mad Max movies, but you don't ever think about it going on in your neighborhood. But, once again, guys, this could be any neighborhood in America, and shame on them for taking what could have been a positive situation, even though it was a terrible situation there. Mm-hmm. It could have been something that everybody learned from, and everybody could at least get something out of that could be brought forward and to learn in a positive way how people can just get along. Mm-hmm. And I know it's an age-old thing, but people just need to find a way to friggin' get along, Shannon.
Well said, Mr. Sylvia.
So much for the holiday spirit around here. Like, goodness,
we're still going to eat like pigs.
Yeah, it is the holidays coming up, and we're not going to see you guys until the feast of all feasts, the forgotten holiday, as according to every single store and radio station in America these days. We want to take a minute and just stop and pause and wish each and every one of you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving holiday from us, from Jeff and Shannon.
Well, that's nice.
It is, because we don't want to forget the holiday around here.
No.
Everybody else has.
Forget it.
You left the Christmas music on for me one day, and I was just tied up here, and I couldn't get downstairs to get to it. And wow, it's maddening after a while. They're good songs, though.
Why would it be mad? Yes, you know what? I'm actually.
It's maddening because it's not Christmas season yet. It's not even Thanksgiving. That's why.
Well, there's no Thanksgiving music. I'm sorry, there just isn't.
What about "Over the River and Through the Woods"? That's a Thanksgiving song.
What
right?
the hell is that?
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go.
An Irish song?
That was a song that was always sung on Thanksgiving.
The Irish don't have Thanksgiving.
You're the one that put Irish into this. It's not an Irish song.
It's gotta be.
It's an American song.
Sounds Irish.
That's not.
I hate Irish music. I hate Irish music. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but it is so aggravating to me. I can't do it. I can't.
Meanwhile, Shannon,
it's so hard to sit through my
pulling
corned
up
beef and
false
cabbage.
information about Irish music. Stay tuned. News at 11. Speaking of news, it was funny because I was helping out a friend of mine yesterday in Boston who happened to be a weatherman for 18 years.
Why don't you just say his name?
5. Mark Rosenthal was.
Everybody knows who he is.
Was a guy that was on Channel 5, and I'm over there, and Shannon's calling me saying, "Hey, did you hear about the weather? Did you hear about the snow we're gonna get?" I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of did." Sitting next to one of the top
Such
weather
a
guys.
dipshit. Oh yeah, you're at Mark Rosenthal's house.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that was so 42 seconds ago.
It was.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
We might be getting a little weather report from time to time from Mark. We're going to try to entice him into sharing his expertise with us, especially for fantasy football and the plow guys and everything. It's a funny thing because he said, "I love the winter. I'm not a skier or a snowboarder, but it's like everything happens. I couldn't be in Palm Beach, Florida, where it's High
No way.
sunny and 75 today. Tomorrow, high 76 with a gentle breeze. He said it would go mad. He said he needs to have
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so it's cool because he said it, but I say it to you and you get all
He's
mad.
a
Like,
weather
we're
guy.
not staying here
He's
forever.
a weather guy that needs to have
Yeah.
the interesting weather coming, like the weather that changes in 10 minutes. That's fascinating to him. That's not fascinating to me. I don't find any fascination with it being 63 degrees today and tomorrow we're going to be scraping our windows. That's not fascinating to me. That pisses me off. I would like to have weather.
It's called the
that
change
you
in
can depend
season,
on.
and it's
But-
temporary.
But seasons don't need to change every time the sun goes up and down. Like
They
around
don't
here,
need to change.
they can change gradually. I like gradual change. I don't like shocking change like we do in New England.
Okay.
And then when we get buried, I mean, not for nothing, these people in Buffalo are getting severely buried. But like Buffalo, the Northeast is notorious for measuring snow in feet.
Oh, my
and
God.
not inches.
My poor
so
family out there.
They're
Wow. In a matter of, 24 hours?
7 feet plus of snow. I was talking to Yaron on Facebook, and she was telling me that 8 hours a day for 2 or 3 solid days they have been shoveling, and they have not reached the end of the driveway yet to get the cars out. So it's a tough situation out there in Buffalo.
Unbelievable. There are pictures of my first cousin standing on top of the snow in front of his house, and his head is as high as the stop sign. Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable. They're snowed in so much that the doors are completely covered in snow. I feel bad for pets, man. When that happens, it's not that easy to let a pet out to go pee or poo.
You and I were talking about that, actually.
I don't know what we do. What the hell would we do? I mean, thank God we have newspapers here, but, there's a problem. Your pets can't just go run outside and go pee or poop somewhere. It's 6 feet tall.
I know.
I mean, there's such a huge hazard. My aunt said that her friend waited for, it was still 2 days had passed, and her friend's husband couldn't come home.
Yeah.
The roads were blocked, and they couldn't get him to her. I mean, can you imagine days going by without seeing me because of a snowstorm?
Oh, it'd be crazy.
What would you do?
It'd be crazy.
Oh, the possibilities are endless.
For you.
No, but I mean, gosh, we had an ice
Such a
storm, but
weirdo.
thank God people were mobile, the next morning. Everybody got out, and it caused havoc on the environment, but not that much snow.
No, you're
6,
right.
7 feet, my God.
I do have one piece of information that you and I talked about, and this is more to do with the Leominster area. We were talking yesterday, you and I, about the pep rally, the high school pep rally being canceled because of a gun threat.
Yep.
And it is the threat might have been there, but they didn't find a weapon. There wasn't a credible threat to where they made any arrests. But they did err on the side of caution, which I think is a good thing because I think student safety and the children's safety is first and foremost. But, it's like Jack and Jane were talking about on the morning show this morning. How stupid. If you're going to shoot up a school, if you're going to do something, do you go tell everybody about it? Like, I mean, if you fart in public, do you stand and wave your hand and go, "Yep, I farted. No,
I don't know, man.
It's an SBD type thing.
The whole thing is an enigma, to be honest with you.
I can't think for the life of me that somebody's going to have this hit list. That's crap that you see on movies. I mean, if you're going to, I don't know. I just don't see him announcing something like that if they're going to do something so horrible. Do you?
Well,
Maybe I'm all
from
wet.
what I
don't know.
learned, it wasn't the kid announcing something. He was with friends when he bought a gun. The friends were there, and then they went to the police station and supposedly ratted the kid out.
Well, he supposedly had a list.
I don't-
There's a lot of rumors flying
I don't
around.
believe anything. I know nothing, and the papers better come out with something soon because we know nothing.
Well, none of the rumors have been substantiated. So right now it is all speculation. And the school is safe. Our mayor encourages everybody to get back to business and do not let it be the highlight of your senior year, I think was a quote.
Oh, they
direct
missed
quote
their
from his
rally
page,
today.
so.
They're supposed to pep them up for the game. They missed their rally. And, I mean, I hope to God they reschedule it, even though it's going to suck. It'll be after the game. But kids put a lot of work into that. I mean, dances and songs and entertainment. I hope they at least have it when the kids get back to school. But my employee didn't send her kids to school today.
No.
No way. There was no way. It was a half day anyway. But it didn't count against them if they didn't go to school today.
No. I was talking to a young lady who was going to become a teacher, and not for nothing, I don't think teachers get paid enough. It's I mean, it's all the responsibility in the world of bringing up these children and showing them, not only the history, but teaching them and bringing them into the world to be model citizens and human beings. But now you have this element and this other dimension of safety where you have to worry about going and dealing with gun issues and violence and people dying and getting shot up in schools. To me, that commands a much higher pay scale. I can't see, teachers being at the bottom of the barrel like they are. They've got to do something for teachers, I think.
I think after this, our mayor's probably going to now.
Something's
going to happen.
Something's
going to happen to make things better. If it hasn't already. I don't know what they have for security down there.
Well, we have a lot to get to, and joining us right after the break, author Rusty Trimble is going to be joining us. So stick around, guys. That and more coming up. You're watching UpForDiscussionLive.com on LATV.
Up for Discussion with Jeff and Shannon Sylvia. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Up for Discussion Live with Jeff and Shannon is brought to you in part by Bailey's Bar and Grill, Sasquatch Coffee, and Village Pizza.
Ay, 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 ay. I am the Frito Bandito. Hey, I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you.
Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch? Sure.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Mama! And now, back to Up for Discussion, right here on Pararock TV.
Oh yeah, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So awesomest part of the show. Sorry, Rusty, but I'm the bomb. Here's the Who Does That segment of the show.
If you say so.
I'm so hungry. I can't wait for Thanksgiving.
I can't wait to go get chicken McNuggets.
Crap. Yeah, might as well, because we're going to eat like jerks anyway the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so here comes the Who Does That segment of the show. Tonight's 3 stories come from all over. You guys have probably heard of this guy named Jose Canseco. If anybody was going to shoot off his own finger while cleaning his gun and then find a way to monetize it, it would be Jose Canseco. Douchebag.
He's such
Stupid
a douche.
douchebag. Every time I see him on reality TV, I just think, stupid tool. The ex-MLB star slash gonzo Twitter personality was back at his attention-seeking best Monday, telling the world he had what plans he had to do with the gun that he accidentally shot himself with and the finger he lost when the gun went off. He's selling them both.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. I mean, this is right up there with, wasn't that Natalie, that girl, the Octomom? Oh, what a sellout she ended up being, the Octomom. Oh, my God.
They all are.
Sellout.
They're all sellouts.
The finger was reattached by surgeons, and then it fell off during a poker tournament last Thursday. Now, how a finger that's reattached falls off, Jeff, is completely beyond me.
There's conflicting stories here. That finger may or may not have fallen off.
Yeah, they're saying that it was caught on film by someone at the tournament, and if Canseco had that, he'd probably be selling that too.
Yeah, he might.
I can't imagine a finger would just fall off. I'm sorry. Like, there's bones and tendons and stuff that were all reattached. How does it just fall off?
Who does that?
I mean, unless there was some decomposition.
No,
Wouldn't he be in the hospital?
Unless it's like Michael Jackson's
Doesn't make any
nose,
sense
right?
to me. It's just absolutely disgusting. He's disgusting.
Okay.
Probably listening to the show. I'm sorry, Jose, but you're just not a good person and nobody likes you. All right.
Tell him, Shannon. You tell him.
Second story of the night. This is funny. A man who yelled, "I hate Fox News," was arrested after allegedly attacking someone dressed as a Fox News reporter at a Halloween parade in California over the weekend.
Okay.
It's his mugshot that is garnering the most attention. Oh, God. So this gets better. His name is Sean Corey, a 29-year-old from Santa Cruz. Was at the city's annual Halloween parade on Friday. So the story is a few weeks old, whatever. Police say that he spotted the victim, voiced his opinion about the cable news network, grabbed the victim's microphone prop, proceeded to rub the microphone on his crotch, and pummeled the victim with an aluminum tennis racket. Oh my God, dude, get over yourself. There's so many TV shows that I hate. I don't go attacking the people on them, and trust me, I've had plenty of opportunity to. The victim, who was not hurt, alerted police, who nabbed the suspect as he was attempting to flee. Corey was arrested and booked into the Santa Cruz County Jail. Apparently, he's a little dreamy because his booking photo released by the Santa Cruz Police Department received immediate comparisons to Jeremy Meeks, whose photo took the internet by storm after his arrest on gang-related gun charges.
Wow.
So now we have America's latest hot jail guy.
There we go.
At first, I actually, when I was researching the story, I actually thought for a very brief moment that was the same guy.
No, they could
with
be.
dreadlocks. I mean, they both have blue eyes and the dark skin. Same nose. And same lips almost. It's just eerie. But, yeah, we have another hot mugshot guy.
Okay. All right. Congratulations.
Jeff, get arrested. You're going to get a hot Jeff mugshot guy.
There you go.
Yeah, so what are your what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on hot mugshot guy?
Yeah.
Well, he definitely could.
I mean, there's going to be girls now, like, they're donating their money.
He could be like a GQ model. I mean, this could be like opening up a whole new realm of filming possibilities. You know, you have jail, right? You have all these like
convicts and felons. It's awesome.
You have all these reality TV shows, right? We got one coming up here with the nuns. Who wants to be a nun, right? Why not have like jail models?
They should have a fashion show for people like modeling new jail apparel.
Sure,
all right.
sure.
Less.
All I know is that there's somebody bigger there that's going to make him his bitch.
That's perfect.
Just think of that. When you're thinking about the hot guy in jail, just think about him bent over being somebody's
Absolutely
bitch.
Perfect. Those two really should get together. They would have beautiful babies.
All
right, last story of the night. Cop crashes into a Dunkin' Donuts in New Jersey. Cop crashes into a Dunkin' Donuts in New Jersey.
Okay.
Friggin' priceless.
Okay.
Cops and donuts, donuts and cops. Two seem to be about as intertwined in our minds as jelly is to a bear claw. Unfortunately, one of South Jersey's finest has taken that stereotype a little too far after crashing his police SUV into the storefront of a Dunkin' Donuts at 11 a.m. last Friday.
Okay.
A few details have been released about the case of the incident, but the local NBC Philadelphia affiliate reported shortly after the crash that the officer had collided with another vehicle first, which caused him to veer off the road and then into the restaurant. They're calling it a restaurant.
Does that?
The breakfast eatery was open at the time of the incident, of course, at 11 a.m. And however no employees or customers were injured, the building does now have structural damage. The police officer has suffered minor injuries. Still no word on how many munchkins were injured.
Who does that?
Wow.
Excellent.
It's a pretty aggressive approach, if you ask me. You know?
How does he feel?
Maybe he wanted one of them sirloin things they have. I just couldn't. Like, wow. It's pretty bad.
That's embarrassing. I think that's a little embarrassing.
It is. It's very embarrassing. That's terrible.
I mean, what are these poor people thinking as the thing is veering towards their restaurant?
America runs on
Oh,
Dunkin',
my God.
right? America runs on. That's why you guys need to get Sasquatch coffee, because that doesn't happen at Sasquatch. That just
Unbelievable.
happens at Dunkin's, right?
You can have all the Sasquatch you want, babe.
All right. Well, speaking of what we want to talk to author and super father Rusty Trimble, who's joining us on the phone right now, along with Andrew, who is the subject of a couple of books that we're going to talk about. Rusty, are you there? Hello.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Oh, great, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Well, now, you're an author, and this is something that we're going to jump right into here, because this is your first interview, your first television interview. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. We're pretty excited to have you, because you inspire me, my friend. You are always up there doing things with your kids. You got pictures going all the time. And obviously you've been inspired to write the Andrew Chronicles. And Shannon, I'm going to put the picture up on you. You have a picture of the other book there.
I have the book in my
Good.
hand.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
Here it
There we
is,
go.
guys, the published book.
There we go. Andrew and the Pirate Cove. Tell us how this all started for you as far as wanting to just write and become an author in the first place.
Well, it was funny because, he was diagnosed with autism when he was a little over 3. And I remember at the time, he likes baths now, but at the time, giving him a bath was an ordeal. And there was one day where it just seemed like he really wasn't in the mood for it, so I took a couple of action figures. I think it was actually the Mighty Thor and the Penguin, some toys he had, and I put on little, if you've ever played Mario Brothers, one of the boss battles from one of the old Nintendo games, one of the old Mario Brothers games, and he thought it was so funny, he asked me to do another and another, and I tried to make some of the bat shows, as they call them, a little bit more meaningful, and so he said, Daddy, make me a book. And I just done a little thing with his Thomas Trains where he pretended to go on an adventure, and that was my first book that I wrote and illustrated. And over the years, I did a bunch of illustrated books that just really featured him. And then I moved over to chapter books when he hit the first grade. And last year, I was giving him a bath, and I did a little pirate thing, and he asked me to write a pirate story. And it was kind of funny. I didn't really have any idea what to do, but I had become friends with Scott Adams, who, not the Dilbert guy, but he's one of the first ever video game programmers for the home computer, and he'd written the first computer game I had ever played called Pirate Cove.
Wow.
And I had become friends with him just a month before, and I asked him, can I use your game as a setting for a novel? And starring my son Andrew, who, he knew is autistic, and he knew that I, pledged to donate, 50% of the net profits to charity or autism charities. And it just kind of took off from there, and it took me a while to find a publisher, but I did, and that came out in March of this year, and the sequel, which is called The Revenge of Jack Frost, is due out sometime hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Nice. Now, how's the book going?
It's doing really good. As far as sales go, I don't know. I've been doing a lot of local appearances, and it's, from what my publisher says, it's been doing okay online, and hopefully when the second one comes out, it'll start, picking up. But I'm just happy that I really wrote it because Andrew doesn't like reading that much, but because he's in this book, he gets a big kick out of reading stories about himself, and that's what's important.
Sure.
So now we know he's in the next one.
So now not only is he getting, bath time stories that are being chronicalized, if you will, he's also the main character, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
What can you tell us about Andrew the character, and how does he differ at all or much from Andrew in real life?
There is a little bit of kind of a dichotomy between the two of them. Some of the things that Andrew says in real life, such as this unexpected or expected behavior. That's one of the things that, as a kid, we would ask Andy when he did something that was questionable. And so I kind of threw that line into the book, and Andrew has a lot of fun reading that part of it because he knows that that's something he's been said and it's said to him. But there's a little bit, a lot of things that Andrew says I throw into the book, but there's also kind of a little bit of it that maybe not quite so much Andrew, but just something that I use to kind of expand on the storyline so other kids can identify with it as well.
Cool. Now, you're not only an author, but you and your son are comedic extraordinaires.
You just took the words out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask if we could hear a joke tonight.
I wonder if Andrew could kind of maybe spray some talent out and come up with some good one-liners like you guys have in the past.
He has actually been standing next to you for the past 5 minutes, waiting, chomping at the bit for a chance to tell. So he's standing by whenever you're ready.
Okay, well, without any further ado, I think we should bring on the comedic genius that is author Rusty Trimble and his son Andrew. Whenever you guys are ready.
Okay, here we go. Play.
What happens when you mix a bear and a skunk?
What happens when you mix a bear and a skunk? Shannon, do you know what happens when you mix a bear and a skunk?
Well, oh my God.
I don't know.
You get Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that's
cute.
I love.
As if poo doesn't stink.
That one for a while.
He likes the animal ones, or the pirate ones.
Tremendous.
Pirate ones are kind of his favorite ones, which kind of goes along hand in hand with the book.
Winnie the Pooh.
A pirate that walks into the bar jokes.
Oh, there we go.
How about one more joke? Do we have one more?
I don't know.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I do actually.
They're telling him.
Yeah.
Hey, cheating.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Boo.
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 Geez, you don't have to cry about it.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
It's
an
all
old
in the
one, but
delivery.
It's one of his favorites.
That's
Awesome.
right. It's all in the delivery.
Awesome job, Andrew. Thank you.
Indeed. Very nice job, Andrew. Very nice job.
So where can we find this book? If anybody's interested in buying it.
It's on Amazon.com right now. I'm,
perfect.
Getting a book into a bookstore, especially the big, large brick and mortar ones, has been proven difficult. But Amazon has it, so if you go to Amazon.com and look up, just type in the Andrew Chronicles, or that's probably the best way to find it. Just type in the Andrew Chronicles, or it should pop right up.
Okay. I typed it here in the chat, and for anybody interested, just go down to Amazon.com and type in the Andrew Chronicles. This one here is Andrew in the Pirate Cove, and book 2 out of the series is coming out in a couple of weeks.
Very cool.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, as an author myself, I know how difficult it is to find the time to write, and you've got a couple boys there. So how challenging do you find it to do book number 2? Because if somebody asked me to write another one right now, I'd die.
Actually, it's funny because it's something I do whenever I have spare time, and sometimes I have insomnia, so I was like, well, I'll start writing, and because it's November, there's the National Novel Writing Month contest where you have to write a 50,000 word novel in a month, and I'm at about 45,000 words on the novel, and this one is actually, instead of being donated for autism charities, it's going to be donated to the Stop AIDS Now organization, and I think
nice.
Lisa Maria Dickinson and her
do.
cause, and so I reached out to her, and she said, that'd be a great idea if I could, pledge the 50% to that one. So this one won't be going to autism charities, but to an equally worthy cause.
Nice.
Wow. Very cool.
So
And,
that's my next project, and it's almost done. Hopefully I can find a publisher for it, and maybe the same one.
Yeah, I try to stick with the same one. They did a nice job with the book. It's a nice format, a nice cover, nice feel to it. Speaking of causes, Rusty, you probably know from my Facebook post that Shancakes works with A Diamond is the Sky organization. Sean is listening to the show tonight. We'll eventually have him on to talk about the organization. But I will mention to Sean, see if there's anything we can do about maybe buying up some books for the kids to read. So I'll put a little bug in his ear about that. He does a nonprofit on his own, and the children come to my business to learn how to decorate cakes. Twice a month we have an organization. It's the #1 booked event for the kids to come to, and they get to bring a cake home for their parents.
Well, it should be.
It's a really neat, rewarding experience for my staff and I when we're involved in that.
That.
And I never thought in a million years that working with autistic children would be so easy. I thought it would be a lot more difficult, and I find it extremely, extremely rewarding as a person who doesn't have children myself. I really enjoy those classes.
You were telling me that tonight.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I love working with these kids, and they're all good. They're good kids. They're all good kids, and they're beautiful, and they're just polite and wonderful. We haven't had any problems. So,
I couldn't have said it better.
You know, I do have to reach out to you and just give you huge kudos, because not only are you a dad, you're super involved as a dad, and you have the autism thing that you're dealing with. You turn all that into something so positive. I mean, what inspires you more than Andrew to do this? I mean, just to be able to take your love and what you're dealing with him on a daily basis and turn it into something that he can love, he can be witness to and part of. I just think that's the most incredibly cool thing going, and I just want to give you huge kudos and tell you to keep up the great work. Write books 2, 3, 4, 5, and just keep them all going, Rusty.
That's my plan. Thanks.
Now you do a lot.
It's been a lot of fun.
You do a lot with the kids, and you're very involved as a dad. Tell us about your day. Tell us about how you go about your day with Andrew.
I mean, for example, today he's out of school, so I took vacation from my day job and took Tyler to daycare, and then me and him went and saw that movie, The Book of Life, which was just absolutely amazing. Probably a movie of the year, if you ask me.
Nice.
Cool.
And and Andy wants to share that he actually helped the movie get started because they were having some technical problems they weren't even aware of, and he actually went up and found the projectionist or whatever and told them, hey, the movie's not working, and they got it right up and working. So he was,
excellent.
He got a little bit of applause. He's a little bit of the hero of the day, which doesn't surprise me because he's, the one thing I have to say about Andrew is that he is probably one of the most selfless, kindest, outgoing kids. He loves sharing. He loves to help people. Yesterday at SeaWorld, one of the kids was on the sledding ride, didn't have a sled, and Andy just got out of line, went back, and made sure the kid got one. And I mean, he's there's a reason why he's a hero in my books, is because he's actually my hero in real life as well.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Well, you keep doing the great work that you do and inspiring all of us. I think it's a wonderful time of year to recognize stuff like this. We hear about all the crap going on in the world, Shannon, and I couldn't wait to get Rusty on, because this is a feel-good story. This to me is something that people should pay attention to and use in their own life, because we only have one shot, to bring them up and to spend time with them and all these little things, and to hear a dad say that he's my hero, I think that's pretty damn cool.
Absolutely.
Now, you have a little beast that you're going to be spoiling rotten.
Little baby.
Holidays coming up for everybody.
We have a baby coming to the house. I'm so
do.
excited.
We do.
It's a couple weeks old.
Now, you guys have big plans for Thanksgiving, I hope?
We're going up to actually to Irvine to visit my wife's relatives, and they're just people I love dearly. They're just the nicest people on the planet. So we're really looking forward to a little mini vacation.
That's great.
Very nice.
That's great. Well, we want to wish each and every one of you guys once again a very, very happy Thanksgiving holiday to you and your family. Spend it safely. If you're in the New England area, get where you're going quickly before a snowpocalypse leaves you stranded on the side of the road with no turkey.
Prepare, guys.
And
Prepare.
I'm not sure. I think my phone might have cut off.
You're fine.
You're good. You're good. We want to wish everybody a happy holiday. Thank you all for joining us. And on behalf of our guest, Rusty Trimble, my co-host Shannon Sylvia, and all of us here at the Up for Discussion crew. Until next week, guys, we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
I must admit you got your claws